I'm on the Rams. I think they win by double digits. I know we can talk about this game ad infinitum, but to me, it comes down to how Matthew Stafford plays. If he plays well, I think they win this game in a walk-off double-figure win, which is what I'm anticipating. I like Sean McVay with 2 weeks to prepare. Furman, we know he said the moment was too big for him a few years ago when they lost to the Patriots 13-3, only put up 3 points, about 260 yards of offense. Being at home, I think Sean McVay will coach in a much more calm fashion. I think he's more comfortable with Matthew Stafford than he was with Jared Goff. I like the Rams 27-17 is my predicted score. Means I like the under, but I really like the Rams to cover this 4 or 4.5 point line. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, there's an increased level of familiarity as well, obviously, between Sean McVay and Zach Taylor. Taylor was essentially unemployed before McVay gave him a lifeline. And to Taylor's credit, he's parlayed it into unprecedented success through his first 3 years as head coach in Cincinnati. I actually echo your sentiments. I don't think there's a lot of value in the number, to be quite honest. Made the game for myself, so laying 3.5 would have made some sense early on. The way that I'll plan to attack it, assuming that we're going to get the splits like we typically do for the Super Bowl, is that the recreational bettors out there, instead of backing the Bengals plus the points, are going to back Cincinnati on the money line, forcing odds makers, maybe not at FanDuel, but some other books out here in the desert, to start to drop that Rams money line. And if it comes in a range in that minus $1.70, minus $1.75 range, that would be my buy point for the Rams for a lot of the reasons you outlined there. When you look at Cincinnati, I'm not going to take anything away from what they've been able to accomplish so far this postseason. But in their 3 victories, this is a team that's been outgained from a yards per play standpoint in all of those contests. You dig into Joe Burrow's numbers, and while he is the headliner, he hasn't exactly lit the world on fire. I mean, in the second half of the game against the Chiefs, he was average to maybe slightly below average. Been some of the adjustments the defense has made in terms of getting off the field on third down. We know Evan McPherson rapidly becoming a cult hero as far as his clutch gene kicking field goals, banging extra points through with reckless abandon. But I think this is where rubber meets the road. And Matthew Stafford has long had to endure the tag of one of the best quarterbacks in the league that didn't have a playoff victory on his resume. That's now been taken care of. And he finally has a chance to break through to rarefied air and get that Super Bowl title. This, ironically enough, will be only the second time in Super Bowl history where we'll have a pair of number 1 draft picks going head-to-head at the quarterback position. We had it a few years ago with Peyton Manning and Cam Newton, Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow. But we actually talked about this earlier, Clay, and I'm sure you'd probably agree. It's pretty wild when you think that Joe Burrow has played in higher pressure situations, given what he went through at LSU, than Matthew Stafford has ever encountered, maybe up until this playoff run.
Well, Matthew Stafford had some big games at Georgia, but you're right. When you're a Detroit Lions quarterback, and by the way, I feel so bad for Lions fans. My wife obviously is from Michigan, as I talk about sometimes, so I've got a lot of Detroit Lions fans that I'm around quite a bit.